Let's get into it. So the high fade and the drop fade are really popular, and I expect to see more of it in 2023. A high fade is basically when the balding line is set to a high point, high fade, which generally means that it'll come up above the ear and that will continue around the head. Now, the difference between a high fade and a drop fade is that a drop fade ends up dropping as the fade starts to transition from the side of the head to the back of the head toward the occipital bone, which basically is one of the widest points on the head. So they're essentially the same cut. The main difference really comes to your head shape and which one suits you best and your occipital bone. Now, high fades can be worn with short, medium, or long length hair, but in my opinion, I think it really looks best with long hair, especially on people who are trying to, express themselves through their hair. Just because the high fade really creates separation from the face and the hairstyle, so it really helps to, kind of emphasize what's going on up here versus drawing you in. You really can wear it with all lengths of hair. Some hairstyles to consider rocking with a high or drop fade include braids, twists, cornrows, and even, dreads locks. I used to have high top locks or a high fade of locks, really should be calling it. Now, for those people with medium to short length hair, I personally recommend the temp fade, which is what I'm rocking now. So as you can see, instead of that fade line being set high above the ear, it's really only brought up to about this temple level. So I gave myself a haircut just a few days ago, and as you can see, I kind of balded it out only up to that temple area. The temple fade draws attention to the face, and one advantage of having a temp fade is that it grows in pretty well. It's basically a fro. You haven't cut too much hair off, so it kind of grows in evenly for the most part, depending on your length of hair. Another one of my favorites for short to medium length hair is a taper. The difference between a taper and a fade is that with a fade, you're starting with a bald length. You're balding out your hair. Now, with a taper, you're actually going to include more hair. You're not going to bald it out all the way, but you may bring it down to, let's say, a 1 or 1.5. But you still get that gradient effect because you build it up toward the bulk of the hair, wherever that ends up being. I think it could be a really strong look if you pull it off well. Of course, another option is not to get faded at all. You could just, have a fro. Fros are coming back in style as a lot of retro styles are, becoming more popular in streetwear and street fashion. So I can definitely see more people rocking the classic fro. Depending on your length of hair, again, it's versatile. You can end up getting braids, you can end up doing the box braids. There's a lot you can do with a fro with no fade at all. Most of the maintenance, I guess, is going to be cutting off split ends and maintaining shape ups. There also is the Caesar, which is, just that short, clean bean cut. Honestly, I doubt that the Caesar is going to come back just because there's been such a trend of males wearing or growing out their hair and wearing their hair long. Like even Drake, for example, is rocking braids now. Now, all of these haircuts are legit options, but which one is the best for you? No, really, I can't see you, so I don't know which one is the best for you, but I will give you a few things to consider when you're choosing your next haircut for 2023. One thing to think about is, what is your favorite feature about yourself? Do you like your eyebrows? Do you like your curl texture? Do you like your jawline? Do you like your eyes? No. All jokes aside, haircuts can really draw attention away or toward certain features that you have. So try to find a haircut that, works for you and not against you as far as looking good. For example, I don't really love my head shape. My head is shaped like a bird chicken nugget. Still love myself, but shaped like a bird chicken nugget. So I try to stay away from shorter haircuts where, my lopsided head is going to be, really apparent. I try to mask that by maintaining more head on my hair, and, I grow facial hair and things like that to draw attention away from my actual head shape. In all seriousness, that's basically my thought process behind, choosing a temp fade versus, let's say, a high top fade or low waves or something like that. So for you, maybe, you have a really clean hairline and you want to show that off. So, you want to have a short cut real crisp lineup and just show that to the whole world. Or maybe you really like your hair texture, or you really know how to take care of your hair and you just want to show off your luscious locks, so you end up growing it out, you know, getting a high fade and, you know, really showcasing your beauty. These are all things that, you know, I can't tell you to do, but just some things to consider as you're trying to look fly for 2023. So if you have a friend that, you know, is looking a little crusted, dusty, musty, then share this video with them, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. T King out.